we replicated the website's content on the flash drive. We felt like you travel a lot, you might be connected to the internet. This is something where you can go to over and over again. It updates itself, by the way. Plugged into the internet, that flash drive will update the catalog. So hold on to that for next year. If this isn't the year for you to apply, you'll get the new one next year. And we have extras in the back that don't have flash drive. All right, so we're going to look at Chile. One thing you'll see here on the front page is we're very, very proud to debut some really powerful search indices. You can search by location, you can search by category, that's the type of award you're looking for. A Distinguished Chair Award, for example, a regional award I mentioned earlier, or the Early Career Opportunity. I'll explain what that is all about. You can also search by discipline, probably the most popular way to search, of course. And then you can combine options, and it gives you some guidance here on what that looks like. Okay, do I need to enlarge
Yes, please.
that a bit? Okay, let me see how to zoom in a second. Is that better? You see the back?
Yes.
Okay, so how there is. Okay, let's look at Chile. Let's do that first. And notice I'm not going to select any of these because this first search I want to show you match all availables, everything that is available for the country. The format's the same for all of the award descriptions. You'll see at the top of every country, you'll see a country overview. You can see this is a fairly robust program. They have 15 teaching research awards. It talks about the academic semester in that country. Also the preference for the type of candidates they're looking for. They want someone with at least 5 years of experience after the terminal degree. But does say that they will consider more junior faculty. This is really key too. Many of these countries, especially those Fullbright commissions, they're not limited to just Fullbright commissions, will help you with affiliations. So what that means is, let's say you read a description, you say, that is me. I can do that. That is the award that I want to apply for. But I don't know anybody in that country. Where do I start? Remember I mentioned the program staff in Washington, D.C. can walk you through. They will help you secure a letter of invitation if it's required. We'll look here to see if it's required. Often, if that's not the case. Sometimes the review committees want to see because they will follow what the award description says. When they receive your application, they will, of course, sit down with very carefully, look at the award description, and if it calls for a letter of invitation, you want to make sure you have that. Program staff, they will walk you through this, and they won't let you submit an application if it does require something like that. So there's not too much guesswork on that. Okay, you can see the country benefits. This is certainly it's not a lucrative opportunity, but the policy of the board is that this does not cause financial hardship, and so they weigh that very carefully coming up with the stipends. There's a base stipend as well as a monthly maintenance allowance. In addition, you would have travel relocation, and then it looks like they also give you a housing allowance on top of that. So we add all of this up. Sometimes you don't see a book allowance or research material allowance. This is kind of nice to see. Okay, so you see how it said there were 15 awards at the top, but you see 3 grants at the bottom. Many of these are going to be awarded multiple times. May I ask, so your discipline? Engineering. Okay. So let's see. Certainly there will at least be 2 here: science, technology, and health disciplines. Again, you're going to see a repeat of what we just saw. So you can scroll down to the award information. This is awarded $14.90. It looks like that's for you. You can also search on that front page by keyword search. So that's a neat way to bring up a lot of different things. For example, if you have a specialty that doesn't, Fullbright Scholar Program has a list of 47 major disciplines. Things in the academy change quickly, we know. So if you don't see your particular specialty, just use the keyword search. The language requirement, we did talk about that earlier. There'll always be a field here to give you a sense of what level of proficiency you're looking for. This is pretty interesting for a STEM award. Really just basic fluency, just conversational, hospitality level Spanish in this case. The All Disciplines Awards, while we're here, let me just say, this is another encouraging trend. We can't force all those multiple players. They're independent parties and actors, and so we can't force them to move in any given direction with the Fullbright program. They certainly have to follow the policies of the board, but this granular level, the All Disciplines Award is one of the best trends, I think, for the program, because as the name suggests, it's open to everybody. It's just flexible. It opens it up to so many more candidates. Last year, we had about 100 All Disciplines Awards of the 500 plus, almost 600 awards available. So 100 All Disciplines Awards. We decided, well, let's try to cajole them a little bit. Let's share maybe best practices with them. And we published a paper that we shared with the post commissions, highlighting what the applicant pool looks like when you have an All Disciplines Award. This catalog we're now looking at has 170 plus All Disciplines Awards. So the beginning of a trend, I don't know, but it certainly is very encouraging. Yes?
Question that I think I've already forgotten about is that you say most people go on their sabbaticals to these things. So you need to dovetail an application for sabbatical with the Fullbright, which you make it one or not the other or both.
Yeah.
So let's say you don't get the sabbatical, but you got the Fullbright.
Yeah.
And needless to say, you either go or you lose it. I assume there is no carry forward.
Sometimes from semester to semester you can, but not.
Right.
And that depends. That's right. Everyone's situation is different, and there are a number of scholars who work it out to go without a sabbatical. Some of them, for example, if you have a research grant that you're on that calls for research abroad, but there are no travel funds associated with that, that can happen. Sometimes you can line up those stars just right and use it still. Okay, anyone else? World region, perhaps? A discipline? In the back, we'll come back to you. Yes, ma'am.
You're to Chile, Peru.
Peru, okay. That's fine. 6 teaching research awards. They started. It's information there. Travel location is nice. It looks like an All Disciplines Award. So up to 6 All Disciplines. That's a great program. Very, very flexible. Sometimes you'll notice that they have, it's all disciplines, but under specialization, they'll list a few disciplines. So it's what I call an all disciplines but, right? They're saying, well, really, if you have a compelling project, we will consider it. So please do apply. But we have heard from our host institutions, they would like to have this kind of scholar on campus.
Well, another question on that?
Sure.
So if it's all disciplines, does it behoove you to actually get your own contact over there, like a colleague at another university saying, supporting your application, giving you an invitation? Does that matter at all? Or?
The award description will say whether or not a letter of invitation is required.
Right.
It doesn't hurt you to have a letter of invitation if it doesn't say that. So I wouldn't say that would put you over the top necessarily, but it's definitely not going to hurt. In the review, on the review committee, they are going to look very carefully, not just at the merits of your proposed project, but have you really done your homework? Have you thought through the day-to-day implementation of your project? And in fact, if you have a letter of invitation on official letterhead from the institution, that would, of course, indicate that.
I remember my other question.
Okay.
Can you do multiple applications?
No, that's a great question. You do have to select one award to apply for a year.
Does that include you can't apply for a core and a specialist? You can't do that?
That's a separate program altogether. I'll talk about the specialist program. Yes. Yes, you can.
I have a discipline and a thing to teach, but I'm not married to a part of the world. So is it easy to search that way?
Let's do that. I want to do that. What's your discipline?
U.S. history or American cultural studies?
Okay,
20th
sure.
century?
So what you would do, of course, is match all available to see the broad range of what's out there. And let's just do history. You said dress, right? I'm sorry.
The American. Do you have American studies up
I
there?
do. It's called, yeah.
American studies. Okay.
Okay. So 50 awards. Now, this is a great thing to show you, not because you can see a quick snapshot what's available in your discipline, but because I don't want you to forget this point. In addition to whatever it is, if you choose to search by discipline, I imagine most of you will, don't forget those all discipline words, right? So I have, here's the exact number, I have 174. And so whatever number that is, add 174. That's important,
So
because you may sort of want a country, but not see something as
So
discipline.
here's the next question. From my perspective, the thing would be to want to maximize my opportunity, my chance of getting the one thing I applied for.
Sure.
How would I do that? How would I begin to sort of weed out the ones that are more competitive?
Well, I mean,
So I understand that if I went for Turkey, Russia, China, Indonesia, that list, I wrote it down.
Yeah.
But even within that list,
Right.
is there a way to really know suitability? Like, really, I really have a good chance of getting this one, I have a much less chance.
I think it's a great, not to need an excuse to call, but I think it's a great reason to call the program staff. Because remember, they created these awards in collaboration with their counterparts. And they've heard things like, well, those institutions said they're not quite getting the people in this area, et cetera, et cetera. They have that level of granularity, and I'm afraid I don't.
Okay, okay.
Sure. Now, I want to allow enough time for our speaker to present her Fullbright experience. So let me just very, very quickly talk about, just a quick moment, the other boutique awards that we have. CORE is the legacy, really, program. The traditional, used to be called the traditional program. Within the CORE program, there are distinguished chair awards, or approximately 30. These are for senior level faculty. The stipends are significantly higher. I think I met, if you don't see her today, you have a scholar here who's going to Poland. Yes, which is tremendous. There are also these seminar awards. German Studies Seminar, that's 2 to 3 weeks. You have the IEA, or International Education Administrators Program. You can see the countries where that's available. These are for, as the name suggests, for administrators at 2 to 3 weeks. You would apply not August 2, like most of the awards in the catalog. The deadline is August 2nd. These have later deadlines in the fall. There are bookmarks in the back of the room that I checked. By the way, that snapshot, it didn't make it to the box. I'm so sorry about that. So I'm going to make sure we send these to you, and we're certainly welcome to come and take a look at the snapshot. The bookmarks I checked before I mentioned, so they are in the back. And they have the application deadlines for all these other programs on the reverse side. Okay, so with that, I will, if it's okay, I'd like to invite one of your colleagues up to talk about her Fullbright experience, and then I'll close it to see other questions you may have, and then cover just a few last slides about applying. So please, if you could.
Yeah, that's